before realization, whatever you do, as I told you before this, is artificial, overstrong, because you are not done. Any kind of worship you do, anything you do, is not really reaching the principle of life. Now, for example, the flame. The principle of flame is light. And unless and until you are awakened, you cannot awaken the principle. You cannot touch the principle of it. So once you are awakened, then as you are on your principle, can go on the principle of the flame as well. After realization, when you start using the flame, you must have seen that it gives soot. Black soot comes out of that. I know of somebody who told me that the whole wall became black when he was putting that. He was amazed how the wall became. Then you have seen also that the flame reacts. If my photograph is there, then you definitely awaken that flame. Because so many people have been cured through my photograph. How it has happened? What happens is that when a photograph is placed and you put the flame there, the flame gets away. And the light that passes from that flame carries the vibration over. Material things carry, like sound. Now, sound waves, you have seen that. I can clear you out by touching my different chakras. Like today, I tried to clear you out on your hasta by touching this mind. And on the right side, there was a problem. So when I touched it to the right side, the vibration was so much that it was making a sound. On the left side, it was not. Then the problem appeared on the left side, it was just the other way around. So even sound carries the vibration. For example, what is mantra is nothing but a proper pocket, or you can say a cup which carries the vibration. But unless and until you are realized so, you cannot awaken the mantras. So to say mantras before realization, like mad, is wrong. Now doing prataka with a photograph is all right, there's nothing wrong. But paying so much attention to one center is not necessary. Supposing there's a photograph and you are trying to look at the flame in front of the photograph, then you are paying more attention to the flame and not to the photograph. On the contrary, if you pay attention to the photograph, the flame puts the light to the photograph and you get the complete perfect. Especially for people who suffer, say from the right side. For them, heat is not good so much because they are already heated up. So such people, if they try to take treatment from the heat side, they won't be prepared. They have to take vibrations from something that is cold, like water and salt. Water and salt helps many people. But some people it may not help also, possibly. Those who have a temperament which is very, very, very sort of, we can say, cold type of temperament, left side. It may not help some. If they use a warm water, it may. So it depends on what sort of personality you are. For people who are very heated up, one should not take too hot water. You should take cooler. The main thing is that once you are realized, then you can touch the principle of it. Tat, Tattva or Tattva. Like if you have to treat the tree, you cannot treat individual petals or individual leaves, even branches. But what you have to go into is the sap, and the sap is the principle. Now to get to the sap, you have to use the water medium. So whatever medicine you have to give, through the tree, what you do is mix it up in the water, pour that water inside. So the water inside the sap sucks it and manifests itself. In the same way, when you are realized, you become the principle. In the same way, those people who are supraconscious see colors. Those who are subconscious, they see other things, like dead body, rules, this, that. Now, if you are supraconscious, you see something, you think that is the truth. But you are in that area, that's why you see. If you are in the subconscious, you see something that is the truth. But if you are in the center, in the present, you see nothing. You just feel. It is effective. Because in the center, you are on your principle. But you start seeing the Kundalini is outside. Some people can even see in the sun's rays, you might see even the vibrations. Many people can see vibrations. Because you have now jumped into your subtle being, you can see the subtle being. And when you use all these things, for example, what in a lemon and chili is also, people might say, because those who do not understand, especially the West, where the mind is so much conditioned by sophisticated things that they can't understand what is the sense of putting lemon and chili. Now lemon has a coefficient. Now you know that we have cured many people with lemon and chili of their mental problems. We have seen it is effective. So we have vibrated lemon chilies and we've got put them in the water. Now what happens? The lemon and chilies have a capacity to suck my vibration or suck the vibrated water into themselves as vibrated ones. They become vibrated themselves. What is called is charge. They become awakened. So in the night, when you open that, the vibrations travel out and create an atmosphere in which you start becoming one with your center and you lose your left and right side bent and you become the saved one, you can say, because you are taken away from the left and the right and you come in the center. The question is whether the thing has got vibrations or not like this. What is vibrations are Brahma. Is the Brahma. Is the divine power of God. Is the divine power all around. Now this divine power is in everything, but is not under your control. As you have not touched it. Once you are awakened, you touch it. You awaken that in everything. Once you awaken that, then you start feeling the vibration. Say I have stayed in this house, in this place, even on the sea. Anybody who is a sensitive Sahaja will know where mother has been staying. Certain things have greater capacity to absorb vibrations. This is being discovered in the ancient time by many seers. All these techniques that we are using are not necessarily all mine. They have been already seen by many ancient seers who have seen. So, you see, to understand Sahaja, one has to know that there is a power, divine power, which acts, which works out. And now you have become a medium of that power. That's how now you have become Samartha. Samartha also means strong, powerful. independent. But Samarth also means equal to your name. So doing anything before realization is bad. After realization, also paying attention, things from where the vibration is coming is better. Moreover, if your agya is broken, it's better to avoid this. Because you have already finished by doing over concentration at a point where it was not needed. For example, supposing there is no door here and I am breaking it all the time, hitting it with my attention. The whole thing may collapse. The door is here. If you have paid attention in a place where it doesn't exist, you have not done justice to yourself. It has to come out from you. And that is what it is said that it is spoiled. It is very simple. In everyday life, you see that. A blind man who doesn't know the way out can bang at any place. May break the wall, may break himself also. So, after realization and before realization, there's a tremendous difference. One has to understand that now you are realized. This assumption you do not. Surrender also, what do you surrender to me? What do I want out of you? Nothing. What do you have to surrender to me? I just don't understand. Surrender your own ego, your own barriers. What you are surrendering is your own barrier. So what is there to surrender? If you have your ego intact, you won't walk outside here. You will be insensitive. Supposing this thing is covered with some sort of a cloth, you cannot speak, and you remove the cloth from it. Will you say it has been surrendered? The surrendered word itself is very treacherous because that immediately acts on your ego. Actually, surrender means surrender your ego. But when somebody says you must surrender to Mataji, that means you think that you have to surrender your money. What is there in money? I don't want your money. What is there to surrender to? I mean, just imagine. What are you going to give me? I have nothing to get from you. Is there anything that I can get from you? Nothing. Luckily this time, even in this lifetime, I am born in such a way, in such a family, that I don't need anything. I have even got fame and a position in life. So even that I don't need. What is there to surrender to? You have to surrender your own ego, that's all. And you'll feel free with that because you are bound by your own ego. Supposing you are in the shackles of chains. You are chained. Now if you want to remove the chains, are you surrendering those chains? What you are surrendering is your own inhibitions, your own problems, your own, we can say, the shackles which do not give you freedom. Your jails, your conditionings, your diseases, your troubles. That's what you are surrendering. What is there to surrender? I just don't understand. Just to remove the clouds which are over your spirit. You have to make Kundalini rise with a great force so that they are all thrown away. I don't know how you people have a misconception that you must surrender to Mother. What? Your negativity, your negative thinking, all this must be surrendered. But I mean, imagine I having all your negativity, all your burnings and all your heat. I mean, some people who touch my feet really burn my feet. I think it's really horrible. It's not easy to take everybody on my feet. I mean, even people who had leprosy, who had this, they all touched my feet the other day when I was in a village. All kinds of people touch my feet. And they would think that we are surrendering our leprosy to Mother. It is like that. For an ego-oriented person, it's very easy to jump onto such conclusions. So you are surrendering nothing. Whichever is valuable, you cannot surrender. So Indians, when they surrender, they know what to do. But for Western mind, it is very difficult to understand surrender. See, so far they have known Gurus, where they have surrendered their money, their wives, their children, everything. So they don't understand surrender in Sahaja Yoga. What is it? That means you have to become your principle and give up all that is gross. But don't give it to Guru. Your gross should be thrown away. The Guru doesn't want any gross from you, nothing. It is said, Buddha said it, I think. They say so, I don't know if he could have said it, that you must give all your tana, mana, dhana to your Guru. I have said it at that time. But not you, Sahaja. I today only told you, you sacrifice nothing whatsoever. I mean, on the contrary, even on material basis, say traveling in India, is the cheapest by Sahaja? Cheaper by the dozen? It cannot be cheaper than this. So this is what one has to understand, that you have to become the spirit. And the spirit means the essences that is you, the principle that is you. You become the principle, you touch every principle, and that's why everything has a meaning. Now in the book, many people might have done that, so they will not like. If I tell them, they will not like. You see, it's a very funny reaction human beings have. If you are doing something wrong, if you tell them, don't do it, then they will say that, why Mother said so. I mean, I have to tell you, after all you have come to me to ask the truth. So I have to tell you the truth. It is for your good only. Like yesterday I met somebody who was wearing 3-4 things in the neck. I said, this is a high blood pressure. I said, alright, for you a particular thing is alright, but all other things are no good, you take it out. He said, yes, I'll take out everything you say because I want to get well. This is what it is, it's so simple. That whatever is not good for you. I tell you, I am not here seeking elections that I should try to teach you. I am here to comfort you, to help you. And to give you counsel and to redeem you. How am I to do it? When you come and tell me that this is wrong with a certain Guru, he has booted you, he has done this, that. That's how I come to know about Gurus also. But somebody is still sticking on to that Guru. When he comes to me and tell that person that, see, that other people are saying about this, you better be careful. He feels very hurt. And then when he's hurt himself later on with that Guru, he comes back to me. My job is to warn you about all these people, what they are doing. If there's a real Guru, I would say there is a real Guru. But as I said, in Sahaja Yoga, you don't have to have any Guru because you yourself become Guru. Gurus were required when we have to maintain our dharma, when we have to maintain our balance. We need a Guru to tell us that this is true, that is true. In those days, Gurus are useless, absolutely useless. As it is, Gurus were never treated with reverence. Real Gurus were never treated with reverence. Nobody listened to them. They didn't come to give you realization. They came to establish in your dharma. They didn't have to give you realization at all. Like Guru Nanaka, whatever he said was the truth. Just to establish you in dharma so that you get your realization later. But people make cult out of that. Everything is made, that's not the thing. Guru is needed just to establish your dharma. But after realization you become the Guru. That doesn't mean you should show disrespect in any way to Gurus like Guru Nanaka and others who are Sadgurus. At their time they were very much needed. If they were not there, there would have been no talk of principles of dharma. They were needed. Today you are realized, you have become the guru, so you talk of dharma also. But if you talk of dharma to anyone, that person can go against you. If he is adharmic, he will not like. If you tell him don't do like this, don't do like that. It's a very funny word. For Sahaja Yogi, you must understand that the task is very heavy and you have to work it out with discretion. If you want to spread Sahaja Yoga, you have to be very, very careful with it. Because negativity is too much. And it is required that you should know how negativity works and acts on it. If there is any problem, you should let me know what is the problem you have got or anything. But be direct and be simple about it. If you try to be funny, you will be the losers, isn't it? So be direct. Tell me this is the problem. And then try and act what I say. It's a free consultation given. So, one has to assume, one has to believe that you are realized. This also, when I say, people think that mother is just forcing this idea into us. It is auto-sufficient. So I don't know what to do sometimes. When they get realization, they don't want to believe they are realizing. Still they go on behaving in a way they are not, as if they are not real. Then I have to tell them you are a realizer. Now know that you are a realizer. Assume your powers as realizer. See if it acts or not or works it out or not. Once you have assumed that you are a realizer, immediately you will become responsible. I know that. But this assumption is very clear. That you are the essential of all the essences. If this is assumed within you, I don't have to even tell you anything. I tell you. Because once you know you are a guru, you will become responsible. You will see your own ego, you try to correct it. But if you come and ask me, I will have to tell you that this may be the reason, that is the reason, that. I mean, in Sahaja Yoga, everything has a reason. But of course, as you know, we allow very few people to come into inner circle. Very few. I mean, as it is, we don't allow everybody to come for puja. Because those who don't understand. They jump back. Puja is more understood by Indians than by the Western people also. But gradually, when they feel effects of puja, they want it because it has an effect on it. It acts on it. 99% people do feel, or 1% could be certain, that they will act according to their ego, may not accept anything, may react. So in England we are very particular. Still some people creep. Now questions and answers were very good. I like the way they were asked, answers they were given. But the best way to learn Sahaja Yoga is the practical side, just like science. You must practice. Practice on yourself and practice on others. And be witness to it. These are the three things if you do. You will spread Sahaja Yoga better, you will grow better, and you will understand Sahaja Yoga. There are so many things that happen that cannot be explained. For example, a gentleman came and told me that the lady whom you had cured of cancer has now got pain in her kidneys. The moment he told me, the lady felt better and she got better. That moment. And she was not there where he told me. Now, how it has worked out? How am I to explain it? It's impossible. I cannot explain. Because human beings think that everything is under their own understanding. Is the wrong thing. You can't understand God in His ways. Can you? The only thing one can do is to become one. Because you have a limited Intellect. You can't understand everything of Sahaja Yoga. You can't understand how under your hands the Kundalini is moving. How of nothing can be. That's why I said, throw away how in the sea. Because you cannot explain. Can you explain? Why is it when you raise the Kundalini rises and you can feel the chakra? Can you say that all of you, how do you feel, all of you feel the same center? In God's realm, it has so many dimensions. It has such a tremendous speed. It is so effective. The attention is so effective. You bring something to the attention and immediately that. And when she got cured, I went to her house. And I didn't know what to do because very embarrassing. But I told, she said, why did I get it, mother? I said, you didn't even write a letter of thanks to me, at least a letter of thanks. After all, you must thank God. You think that God has cured me, so what? It's not so. You have to be humble about it. At least a letter of thanks she should have sent to me. And that's how she got out of my attention completely. I mean, I don't do any harm to her, but she herself jumps into such things. And when she got out of my attention, she got disturbed. Still she argued with me, no, I didn't want to write because I was thinking that I was cured by doctors, this thing, that thing. I said, all right, go ahead with it. She wouldn't even write a letter of thanks. Can you imagine? And then she got back her cancer. So a letter comes back to me saying that mother, now she's writing a letter of thanks to you. What have I done? Isn't it stupid? But it can be very serious. It is stupid but very serious. You shouldn't play with the divine power. It's very dangerous. Like one journalist who wrote something against me and people were very furious. Very, very furious. Everybody was angry. I said, forget it. Now he's got blood cancer. He sold his house. It was again published in the same newspaper, he's got blood cancer. I don't know what to say. He sold his house. They told me that he sold his house and everything, and he's now going to America, and his wife now coming to Sahaja Yoga. Why go that long way? If you forget God, God doesn't forget you. But if you forget Him, you get out of His attention and you go to something that is dangerous. You can see all this in Sahaja. Those who have done like this, gone out of the attention, have suffered. Not that God wants you to suffer, but you see, if there is light, you can see everything clearly. But when you go out of the light, you fall in a ditch and you say, why didn't the light follow me? It's very stupid. The whole thing is very stupid. When you surrender your ego, you realize that you are just a part and parcel of the whole. And you are only important because you have become awakened, otherwise you are not important. All these things add up to a kind of a negativity which gives you a barrier to take to realization. Take to your assumption that you are realized. In a very simple way. Now you have jumped in the sea, that's all. You have become the sea. What is there to give to Mother? Or to surrender? First point you should ask your Mr. Ego. I myself is a problem to myself. If she is solving my problem, she is taking up my problem to herself. What am I going to surrender to her? I mean, you are so sometimes in the grip of the ego that I don't even try my tricks to test you, because you are so premature, you are so sensitive still. I mean, I don't know what to do. You are to be tested. But even that I don't do. No testing, direct. Some testing is needed. After all, if you have to enter into the kingdom of God, you have to be tested, no doubt. You also know that those who are realized that many centers you catch, you jump upon your ego, super-ego all the time, problems. Still, doesn't matter. Even if you have a fifth hand card, Sahaja Yoga accepts you. Actually, it is Sahaja Yoga which is accepting all of you, which is rendering all the help necessary. We have to be thankful to Sahaja Yoga that it has brought such relief to all of us. It is such a relief. So one has to first assume that you are a realized. That is the assumption you don't have. And when you have that assumption, you think that you are realized, also you should shout at people and get angry and show. Or you think you should extract money from Sahaja Yogis, you should try to take away, sort of like a businessman, something out of them. Or you should try to save money at the cost of Sahaja Yoga. I mean, this is absurd. All these things are absurd. The absurdity is that you have come to gain something. You have come to the river Ganges to fill your pitchers. All right, fill it up. You fill up the river. But when you fill up the water, you are going to use it for some purpose. Now know that there is Ganges below. Assume it. Again and again I say that you assume it. The assumption will give you whatever qualities are needed for the spirit. You don't need much of technique, as I told you this morning. Not much of technique. What is needed is love. Looking at things with love. If you are kind to someone, is it out of love or out of sympathy? Or is it out of some sort of a biased attitude? Or is it out of some sort of a gain that you want? If your behavior outside is artificial, it is also of no use. So try to train yourself up that now I have come to Sahaja Yoga, I have to train myself. It's a very big training center. In your spiritual life, in your social life, in your physical life, in your mental life. You have to cleanse your mind itself where the wrong things are coming from. You can cleanse because your attention is now enlightened. Just start looking at yourself, what kind of thoughts are coming into mind. And once you have cleansed yourself, you will feel your purity, you will be very happy. Sahaja Yogis are my own children. They have got their own powers. They have got it because they have got it. Nobody needs to be jealous of them. Everybody can get it. God wants it to happen, it has happened. It is all prophesied that it is going to happen. But if you do not understand the subtleties of Sahaja Yoga, because if you judge it from the gross angle, you cannot understand Sahaja Yoga. You have to know that you have become a subtler being and everything is on a subtle level. As I said in the morning, that you have become Sukshma. You have become now. You are a different person. You are not the same person. As the egg has become the bird, it's a different thing altogether. Take out all that was before. That if you call surrender, all that. And assume your own powers to become very powerful yourself. Now, if there are any other questions. त्यांचं म्हणणं असं की थोडंसं मराठीत बोला. आता इंग्लिश शिका थोडं, तुमची आई पण शिकली, तुम्ही शिकलं पाहिजे थोडं इंग्लिश शिकायला. काय आता देवांना इंग्लिश समजतं, मला समजतं म्हणजे देवा नाही समजतं इंग्लिश.
Today I was asked the following question. I didn't know how to answer to that. The person which usually feels very well in fingers didn't have ego finger burning, yet couldn't surrender. So was in a position of not being capable of surrender, fighting to surrender, yet the finger was not burning. So it was...
Reason is stupidity. It's absolute stupidity. I mean, how can you explain this? You see, you're feeling the cool breeze in the hand. You're feeling all right. Still you're saying, I am not going to surrender. It must be some sort of a bull. I mean, you just see, explain, how do you explain such a person? That person is not honest, dishonest. In simple words, you see, even if you are feeling the cool breeze in the hand, you are feeling better, you are feeling the vibrations as promised by Adi Shankaracharya, everything you see, and also you read Blake and you see all that, still you don't want to believe it. That is, you are stupid, you are just like a bull. You see, a bull is all right, healthy, is perfectly in good condition and just sits on the street. And you ask him, why sir, why are you sitting on the street? He says, I don't want to surrender. Baba, you are all right. What is the matter with you? Why are you sitting here? Why didn't you know? I don't want to surrender myself to all the other traffic. I want to sit here. But why? When there is a method. For such stupid people, there's a method for them. And then they run. It is absolutely stupid. There's nothing more than that can be said about a person like that. He doesn't want to surrender means what? What is he not wanting to do? I mean, as surrender, what do you do? Just think about it. When you tell them, you surrender. Such a person is possessed, and the possession comes back on the person. For a while it is all right, and then again there's a possession which leaves it again, again it's all right. It's a wobbly character, that's all we can say. It's a very wobbly character, and one should take oneself to task for such a nonsensical thing. I mean, just think of it. Such fear is possible before realization. After realization, once you have felt something. What is it? It's stupidity. Absolute stupidity. Trying to show off, you can say, at the most. Such a person just trying to show off. Like a bull sitting on the street. Trying to show off. Every traffic is waiting for me. Feeling very happy about it. It has a nuisance value. You see, such people are nothing but they are a nuisance value. They are nothing but a nuisance value. They are a nuisance. By creating a nuisance, like in England there we have now these punk rocks. What do they achieve? Just create a disharmony, a stupid feeling, repulsion, that's all. They just do it because, you see, if they feel they are neglected sometimes, they do like that. Then they create a nuisance out of that. So everybody pays attention to such a person. Best way is to neglect them. That is the best way, is to neglect such people who talk like this. Tell them not to surrender and take 2 running jumps and go to hell. Then they are all. Don't fuss about such people. They are fussy people, they want to fuss about themselves, they want everybody should fuss about them. You should say, you better spare Sahaja Yoga and ask.
Why the perfect God, Mataji, this is a question which is asked by many people, why the perfect God created the imperfect world, and why so many people do not have even the seeking and they are going in the opposite direction?
You ask the people. Everyone, French should learn English. Should try to learn, it's not difficult. If Indians can learn English, why can't you? Your mother can't speak French. It's very difficult language. You have to turn your tongue so much. That actually goes out of order. I can't speak. I try to say your no, I just can't say. I tried, you see. So it's better you learn English language. It's not difficult for you. Most of the English words, which are subtle, are borrowed from French. You say, conscience, son, you might say they conscience. Son and sauce, that's all. So, Vincent, it's so Vincent. Now everybody answers Vincent, but you say my song. See, this is individualism. Alright, now we have become collective, try to learn a language which everyone understands. It's not difficult for French people to learn English is not. Indians are very good at languages, I think. They are the best in languages. If they want, they can learn any language. So they should have no complaint. Should try to learn 3 languages as much as that you could follow me. Of course, you can't understand Hindi or Marathi so much as you can understand English. So try at least. But that doesn't mean that those who know English should not know any other language. Like our Hindi-speaking people, they never try to learn any other language because everybody has to speak Hindi language. So those who are not well versed in other languages should try to learn other languages. You must learn some language inside you. Say you may learn Sanskrit, you may learn Hindi, Marathi. If you know English, that is not sufficient inside. You have to talk to other people also. If you really want to be effective, you have to know something. You will help me a lot if you know French, because in France I go, I get lost. In Spain I go, I get lost. You see, we went to Spain and we had taken one lady with us who was going to translate me, and she got nervous. And I didn't know how to talk to people. Then suddenly somebody came up and he said, I would like to translate you. It is not difficult for Sahaja Yogis to do anything, because they become so dynamic. If they get to it, they can do it. It's very simple. So just think that you have to know about other languages also. Like Australians know only English. That's not good. They must know one more language. At least one more language. And for that they should try to get somebody to teach them one more language. At least 2 languages you must know. I mean, you want to be universal and stick on to one language. How will you become universal? Those who join Navy have to know English. Japanese also have to know English. I know this, definitely they have to know English, because naval, all terminology is in English. Those who join, say, airways, they have to know English, because everything is translated in English. Any other thing which is doing a universal, we can say,
Business.
Universal work or universal manifestation, they have to know English. It is important. So this will not be waste. But in no way I would say that English language is that perfect to describe Sahaja Yoga. No way. But you have to know to understand anything. And we have to introduce new words also to explain. But for So you people, it is important to know two languages. Either know Marathi and English, or Hindi or English. But if it is easy, and if you want to know, you should know these three languages if possible. Little bit of it. Marathi is the most difficult. But Hindi is not so difficult. Because we have to communicate, we have to have the phone. Or there is another language, you can just sign, deaf and dumb language. You can try that. But it's also complicated. You see, like we had one deaf and dumb guy. And for marriage he used to say like that. So how do you know that marriage is this? Because in marriage they put akshatas on people. So what he was describing everything according to his customs. And in England people would not understand what does that mean. Huh? That they might think throwing stones. Now those who have not used kumkum, say for example, if you say this one, so that means the wife according to you. Or Mangal Sutra he will say. And now those who never wear Mangal Sutra, how will you know? So, you see, even deaf and dumb language is very much affected by the locality or the place you live in. Alright, so let us decide to know some other language also. What other question? About 9 o'clock.
आज आपला कार्यक्रम असा की डिनर नंतर इंग्लिश ग्रुप कल्चरल प्रोग्राम सादर करा डिनर नंतर असं नव्वद